Hi, I am Priyanka and welcome to this video. In the series of dealing with toxic family, today I am going to discuss more ways how to deal with them. Dealing with the toxic family is really important because if you recognize that you have a narcissist, a flying monkey, an abuser in your family and manipulators also, then you have to take some strict actions against them. Just because they are carrying a title of family does not make them family. Family is supposed to love you, to care about you, to support you and understand you and respect the differences between one another. When someone calls themselves your family, they are supposed to do all of these things. But when people on the name of family, they abuse you, they use you, they manipulate you, they show toxic behavior towards you, it's your right to take action against them. In the previous two videos, I have talked about two other actions that you can take. First is the biggest and possibly the best action is you can leave them as soon as possible. And the second way I had told you, in case you are dependent, what you can do. Now today I'm going to discuss more ways to deal with toxic family. First of all, you can do, in case you cannot leave them, there is a reason that you cannot leave them, but you still have to live with them. It's going to be really difficult for you. So the one way you can deal with the toxic family is to do stone walling. Stone walling is putting up a wall between you and them or the toxic family member. When you put up a stone wall between you and the members, what happens is that you limit your interactions. You set the boundaries. Whenever you are putting up a wall, make sure that you interact minimal to none, only when it is necessary. When I'm saying that putting up a stone wall, that doesn't mean you are literally putting up a stone wall between you and them. You just have to create an invisible stone wall where your interactions with your toxic family members are very limited or none. Now that I'm saying is, I know that it's really tricky. It's not always easy to implement because you are living with them, and not everything whenever it comes to dealing with the toxic family and you are living with them is black and white. It's not always possible to not deal with them, to not talk to them, to not laugh at their jokes, or maybe to empathize with them whenever they are in a very crisis situation. It's not always black and white. I do understand that. That is why whenever you are using this way, you are using this trick to deal with the toxic family, make sure you empathize with yourself. Not everything is black and white. There is also a gray area. So on some days, you are not talking to them, you are minimally talking to them, you are refusing to interact with the toxic family members. But on some days, in specific situations like birthday parties, anniversaries, festivals, or maybe a school event, college event, or maybe some other thing, you have to interact with them, whether you want it or not. So in that situation, it's okay to laugh at their jokes. It's okay to talk to them by a few more sentences. It's absolutely okay. Because I know that the moment you do it, you will feel terrible within. You will say to yourself, what about creating the stone wall? What about talking to them, talking nothing to them? In that situation, you will feel ashamed. You will feel embarrassed. And in that exact situation, in that exact moment, you will need to empathize with yourself. You will need to be kind to yourself. You need to understand that on some days you will have to interact with them more because you are living with them. There is no a literal wall between you and them. It is an invisible wall. And once the toxic family members realize that you have started doing something against them, taking an action against them, then they either come to you and they start asking you, what are you doing? Maybe they are being nice. Maybe they start talking to you. They're asking questions, why you are doing this? We love you, this and that. They will, use all kind of tricks from the book to lure you in so that you can drop that invisible wall. Or the other thing they can do is they can start abuse you the way they were doing it. Maybe they will start manipulating you. Maybe they will, notch up their actions. That is why I say that whenever you are using stone walling or gray walling is when you have to talk more on some days. When you are using this trick, it's going to be really tricky for you. It's going to be difficult for you. But at the end of the day, remember your why. Why you are doing this. What was the purpose that you decided to put up an invisible wall between you and them? It's not easy. I know taking action against your family is possibly the hardest thing that you will have to do in your life. But if it takes to gain control over your life, to live a life that is filled with happiness and purpose and peace of mind, then I say so be it. I say so be it. I'm saying it because I myself have gone through many such kind of, bazillion of these kind of experiences. I have had my fair share of narcissists, abusers, manipulators, flying monkeys. I have dealt with them on the daily basis for a major share of my life. And someday I will talk about them. Someday I will definitely share my journey. But today is not about me, it's about you. So when I'm saying you have to put up a stone wall between you and you and your family members, you need to consider it, because you want to protect your peace, you want to protect your happiness, you want to grow in your life. You cannot be the scapegoat, you cannot be the trash can for your family forever. You need to do something against them. And while you are doing this, you also need to indulge in some self-care. Do things that make you happy. Do things that make you feel calm. Do things that make you feel control of your emotions and feelings. You can also take a time out from dealing with the toxic family members. You can take a break from them. You can go on a vacation or live with someone else for some time. Because whenever you are dealing with toxic people, it becomes really, really difficult. It can easily become very stressful environment. It can be very overwhelming. So it's okay to take a break. If you cannot leave them, it's okay to take a break. But if it is possible, leave them as soon as possible. Now, when I said that the moment you start putting up an invisible wall between you and your family comes to know about it, they come to realize that you are doing something, and they're not getting what they were from you earlier. Now they will not be getting that. So one way they will do is to come to you, and they will abuse you. If it is a verbal abuse, if they are just saying all the horrible, harsh things to you, I will suggest that keep your calm as soon as possible, because this is what they want to do. They want to provoke you. They want to see a reaction in you. And the moment they do, the moment they see the reaction on your face, in your body, they get a kind of satisfaction that only horrible people get. So if it is only about a verbal attack, stay calm as much as possible. If possible, leave the room. And if you cannot, then keep calm. Just do not say a single word and let the moment pass. And in case it is a physical abuse or sexual abuse, you can decide to file a police report as well. Do you know that emotional abuse is the most common form of abuse? But still, there is no law against the emotional abuse, but there are laws against physical abuse and sexual abuse. If you're a minor, a minor child, or if you're an adult child, you can file a police report against your family. I know it's a very, very horrible thing to say. They are your family, and you have been loving them, you have been caring about them, you have been supporting them no matter what. But it's time you take control of your own narrative. You take control of your own story. If you're a minor child, and if you're going through a severe, or even if the abuse has happened just one time, the physical abuse or a sexual abuse, if you think you cannot tolerate, then you can take a help of someone else whom you believe, not think, whom you believe you can trust. You can go to them, and you can then file a police report. This person can be your teacher, your neighbor, a family relative, your friend. The same goes for the adult child. Just because you are an adult child does not mean you have enough courage, you have enough bravery and confidence to go against your family. It's not easy. I know when I'm saying that. It's not easy. And again, it's going to be one of the hardest things, possibly the hardest thing you will ever do in your life. But if taking an action means taking control of your life, then you have to do it. You have to do something. You can file a police report. You can file a police report against your family member. There are laws, different laws in different countries. And once you file a police report, I'm pretty sure that you will be able, the police will protect you. And from there on, you will be able to take control of your own life. So these are two ways to deal with a toxic family. First was, I said, stonewalling or grey walling, putting up an invisible wall between you and the toxic family members, and limit your interactions from minimal to none. Be kind to yourself, empathize with yourself, be loving towards yourself. On some days, you will talk to them more, and on that days, do not feel ashamed, do not feel embarrassed. Just step back and go back into your cocoon. Stop talking to them as much as possible. Set some boundaries. Tell them that this kind of behavior you will not tolerate, what kind of behavior you will, and what kind of behaviors you will not. Then you have to indulge in self-care. Living with a toxic family is like living with the ugliest people in the world. So you have to indulge in some self-care where you are caring about yourself genuinely, lovingly, honestly. And the second, I said you can file a police report as well. Take the help of someone if you are not courageous enough. All the countries, many countries, and I believe that all the countries in the world, they certainly have laws against the abuse, especially physical and sexual abuse. You can take matter in your hands the day you decide it. Today I'm going to give you some helpline numbers. These are Indian helpline numbers. You can write it down as I'm saying it, or I will share it. I will share these helpline numbers as a separate post after this video. So these are all again Indian helpline numbers. If you are in India, anywhere in India, you can dial these helpline numbers and get the help. So the first is police. If you want to contact police, the number is 100. Police department is 100. If there is a fire in your house, or if there is a fire in a house, in a neighbor's house or something, and if you want to report it, the number is 101. Fire department 101. For ambulance, it is 102. If you are a woman and you want to get help, the helpline number is 1091. Women helpline 1091. If you are a woman and you are going through domestic abuse, then the helpline number is 181. Women helpline for domestic abuse is 181. Missing child and woman. If a child or a woman is missing, then the helpline number is 1094. Missing child and woman helpline 1094. If you are a child, whether minor or adult, and you are in a difficult situation, then you can dial 1098. For children, the helpline number is 1098. For suicide and life crisis, you can dial 988. You can also text 988 at 988 and you will get connected with a trained crisis counselor. For mental health rehabilitation, you can contact Kiran, Indian organization Kiran, which is 24/7 open. It is a toll-free number. The number is 1800-599-0019. I repeat, for Kiran, for mental health rehabilitation, contact Kiran at 1800-599-0019. This helpline is open 24/7, means anytime, any day of the week, and it is a toll-free number. You will not be charged if you are making a call on this helpline number. For mental health emergency, you can dial ASHA. The number is 0172 266 0078. I repeat, 0172 266 0078. There is another number for ASHA. The second number of ASHA helpline is 0172 266 0178. I repeat, 0172 266 0178. I hope you were able to hear when my dog was barking in the background just now. I will share all these helpline numbers, as I said, in a separate post after this video. Sometimes I run out of words whenever I talk about how to deal with the toxic family members or toxic family. I believe that no matter who you are dealing with, no matter who it is in front of you, if that person is abusing you, if that person is manipulating you or using you in any negative way, in a way where you are harmed, whether mentally, emotionally, or physically or sexually, you must take action. People should carry the title of family when they love you, when they care about you, when they understand you and support you no matter what. And if they don't, they are not your family. I believe you can do this. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay strong, stay confident. I believe in you.